Chapter 33. Land Girl. My darling Elle, I feel stupid. I'm not really good at writing, but I'm trying. I'm alright. Everyone is really tired, though. We lost Ray White and 2 new boys a few days ago. The 18th was the day the RAF has sustained the highest number of losses so far, but also the highest number of German planes shot down. The tide must surely be turning now. I have some news. Johnny's getting a DFC for that little incident when I got shot down and he dragged me out of the plane. He's very nonchalant about it. Melissa's meeting him in London for the ceremony. It sounds like he really is quite serious about her. I had some time to myself yesterday and went to check on the Geese. She's doing just fine, but it looks like she's not flying. I hope she will eventually. She seems to be able to flap and use it quite well. Maybe she's just not strong enough yet. How are you doing? Do you know where you'll be placed yet? Love, Danny. She folded the letter and carefully slipped it into the pocket of her breeches. There had been no time yet to reply. She'd have to keep her writing for the evenings. Is it from your boyfriend? Christina startled her. She'd come up quietly from behind, carelessly plonked her suitcase down next to the road and sat down on it. She had her hat on at a rakish angle. They were both waiting for their pickup to the farm where they'd been allocated. She smiled. Fiancé. Oh, so you're serious then. What's he do? He's a fighter pilot. Ah, dreamy. I just love a man in uniform. Plenty of them to go around these days, lucky me. She laughed. I'm not going steady with anyone at the moment. If your pilot's got friends, you should introduce me. I'll see what I can do. Eleanor smiled. Maybe when Johnny and Melissa had the inevitable breakup, she would introduce him to Christina. She was pretty, with light brown hair and hazel eyes, and looked like she was quite tough, used to farm work. She'd grown up in the country, but had been working in the city for some time. Good to be heading back. Frankly, I'm no city girl, but I had to make ends meet somehow. Maybe I'll meet a nice, rich, middle-aged farmer who's ready to spoil a young wife. Why middle-aged? Do you see any young farmers around? They're all off to the war, and I don't fancy being a widow just yet, not until I'm nice and solid in the will at least. She laughed loudly. Drat, I should straight up go for an old man with money. Eleanor smiled, shook her head. Do you think that's our lift? It was a rattling, rusty, dull red farm truck. I think so. It's slowing down. It pulled up next to them. A grey, wrinkled man with very blue eyes peered out at them. Are you Miss Davies and Miss Martin? Yes, they replied in unison. I'm Pete Huell. You can put your bags in the back and jump in. There's room for you both. Christina gave Eleanor a sideways glance as they each hoisted their bags in the back, pulled wide eyes, whispered, He looks like a real creep. You just wished for an old man. Here's your chance. Eleanor hissed back, giggling. They bundled in the truck, Christina considerately letting Eleanor sit next to Pete. They drove bumpily out of town on a potholed track. The drive went on for about 20 minutes. The muddy road became tree-lined and shady. Sturdy wood and wire fences lined the way. Finally, they turned into a gate. A slightly dilapidated stone farmhouse lay to the left of the track. To the right was a big whitewashed barn with a green roof. The fences were wooden rails lined with chicken wire. Chickens scattered all over the yard, and in almost every paddock neat little dairy goats grazed in herds. What do you farm with, sir? The blue-eyed old man, who hadn't spoken a word the whole way, looked at Eleanor like she was daft. Alpines, goats, dairy goats. We milk, breed, show, make cheese. That's what you two will be assisting with. Goats. Of course it would be goats. They jerked to a stop on the cobblestones in front of the house. A skinny, small, older woman came bustling out, a cheesecloth over her shoulder. Good morning, ladies. You'll be wanting to put your things away. Follow me. I'm Agatha Hill, but you can call me Aggie. Welcome to Sunrise Acres. I hope you like goats. We cleaned up the loft room for you. It's a bit open, but Pete put up a rail so you can keep the curtains drawn for some privacy. You do have your own bathroom, but you'll have to carry up hot water. You can settle in and unpack. When you're done, you can come down for a good cuppa and I'll show you around. Pete's got to pick up the goats' rations today, so it'll be just us girls. All right, now, I'll leave you two to it. Come down to the kitchen when you're finished. Eleanor put her suitcase on the bed and sat down next to it, looking around doubtfully. The house was grey, cut stone, as worn as its occupants. Faded curtains were strung limply above the rails of the loft, giving them a hint of privacy. Christina plonked down on her bed. Oh my goodness gracious. I could swear she did not stop speaking for a single breath, even while basically running up these stairs. Do you think she's his wife or his sister? They look the exact same, down to the blue eyes. I say we figure out a door of some kind, even if it's just a curtain. He looks the type to sneak up on us. He was staring at your chest more than the road. Eleanor laughed. This is awful. If this is our effort for the war, I'd say we're doing a fair share. I'm terrified of goats. Goats on four hooves or peeping old goats? Both. They laughed. We'll have each other's backs. Deal? Deal. Let's go see if Agatha has found her second wind.